Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, I want to make sure if you are a small business owner, if you're self-employed, a sole proprietorship, an independent contractor, a freelancer who happens to be out and about doing anything that might potentially put you at risk, well, you should consider getting insurance. This will help protect you and your small business from getting screwed and being in a very tough situation. And in particular, I'm going to introduce you guys to Next Insurance. And I'm actually, along with just kind of introducing you guys to Next Insurance, I'm actually going to go through the process of signing up and getting insurance with them. Because being that I am a self-employed small business owner, and I'm continuing to grow my own business, I'm continuing to, increase my sales, my revenue and whatnot. And I'm only seeing, okay, the more I'm getting out there and doing more jobs and making more money, kind of the more at risk you are getting. So I felt like, hey, now is time to definitely get insurance. I probably should have done this a little sooner than I am, but hey, it's late is better than never, right? So let's jump into it. Here's Next Insurance. Small business insurance has never been easier. Save up to 30% with instant coverage designed for self-employed. Next is 100% dedicated to small businesses. Whether you're self-employed or have a team of 20, we offer affordable, painless insurance tailored specifically to your business. Get covered in 10 minutes or less, all from the convenience of your smartphone. So how does it work? Well, you tell us what you do, select coverage, get your certificate of insurance, and get it done 100% online, or talk to one of our agents for a one-on-one service. And they have 5 kinds of business insurance to help keep you safe. The one that most of you guys are probably going to need or would consider getting, that I absolutely am going to be getting, is General Liability insurance. But they also have workers' compensation, professional liability, E&O, commercial auto, tools, and equipment. So it says accidentally damaged customer property. Well, General Liability insurance makes those uh-oh moments okay by covering a wide range of incidents and basic risks. Contractors and cleaners can add tools and equipment coverage to protect their gear as well. And I'm not going to continue to go through these other things here. But ultimately, I mean, as you guys can see, they have policies for thousands of professions. You can say we have a thing for small businesses, including accountants, carpenters, caterers, childcare, dance instructors, daycare, DJ, e-commerce, HVAC work, handyman, general contractor, electrician, landscaper, lawn care, personal trainer, pressure washing, welding, tree trimmer, roofer, real estate, and they have other professions as well. So the so as I mentioned, they have 5 different insurances that you could get, and I guess I'll just do a little. Okay, so the description of what they are. We have the basic here, which I did read that one. With this right here, it says, if you make an error, we've got your back. Get professional liability insurance, errors and omissions insurance, and you'll be protected from certain types of lawsuits and claims. Then there's vehicle-related damage. Shouldn't mean you have to pump the brakes on payday. With commercial auto insurance, you're covered for dents, dings, tows, and damage to someone else's property. Add hired and non-hired coverage for additional protection with rented vehicles and occasional use of employee vehicles. And then it says, add a tools and equipment upgrade to your general liability insurance. If your gear ever gets damaged or stolen, we'll be there to abracadabra. I was like, wait, what is this word? Abracadabra them back in a flash. So if we come back down here and look at all of the different professions, if you look up Adam Helper, you'll see it is a handyman service provider, kind of general labor work. I kind of do a wide variety of different things. But ultimately, Handyman is kind of the best that kind of encompasses everything I do, because it's just kind of a lot of basic handyman things at home. But, you know, they have other insurances, and this is where it gets a little tricky, because I offer things like yard work as well, or snow removal, landscaping, and they had a particular one for like landscaping or lawn care or something like that. And now this is handyman. So, you know, things like that might be a little tricky, but I just believe having any kind of basic general liability insurance that would probably be for kind of something most related to your particular profession is going to, you know, is going to be a safer move and cover your butt more so than not having anything at all. So handyman insurance created to meet your needs. And it says it's simple, affordable, and tailored. Buy your policy 100% online in minutes, whenever, wherever you choose. Monthly, pay monthly with amazing prices and absolutely no extra fees. And your business insurance coverage is designed to meet your needs. So it says, as a handyman, you work hard for your customers, hanging a light fixture for one, replacing windows for the next, and installing a new kitchen sink for a third. Shouldn't your handyman insurance work hard for you the way you do for your customers? That's where we come in. Our agentless, hassle-free, 100% online process offers you a simple, affordable liability insurance for handyman quickly, easily, and in a tailored policy just for you. There are absolutely no extra fees, and with unlimited 24/7 live certificates of insurance and free monthly payments, you're free to focus on doing what you do best. You're invested in your business and helping it grow. We know it's not always easy to run your own business, and you certainly don't have time to waste on figuring out the best handyman insurance. You can count on our handyman liability insurance policy to be there when you need us, and to let you run your business with confidence and security when you don't. What kind of insurance does a handyman need? The kind that's there when you need it and out of your way the rest of the time, so you can grow your business and thrive. And they specifically mentioned the 3 different insurances that probably would be most relevant to someone offering handyman services. First is general liability insurance, then there's professional liability insurance, and we have commercial auto insurance. And so, you know, some of you might be wondering, why do I need insurance for handyman? Well, excuse me. Liability insurance for handyman projects protects your business against some of the most common types of claims, which can result in explosive legal or medical bills, such as property damage, injury to third parties, and more. By buying a handyman business insurance policy from Next Insurance, you'll know that if something unexpected happens, you and your business can keep on running. With the confidence of solid coverage behind you, you are free to take on the biggest job yet, expand your range of tasks, or even buy that fancy new drill you've had your eye on. And, it says they have a 5-star ratings over here. Coverage is solid. Our prices are amazing. Handyman, general contractor, electrician. What policy do I need? Have multiple categories. In our menu, fit your business. You should fill out our general contractor insurance application and check all of the work categories. So, like, this might be something, because this is basically saying, hey, handyman, general contractor, electrician, what policy do I need? Many professionals like you aren't quite sure which policy is right for them. Are you a handyman who needs general liability insurance for handyman services, or do you need a policy for appliance installation, or maybe flooring installer? If multiple categories in your menu fit your business, you should fill out our general contractor insurance application and check off all of the work categories that are relevant to you. If types of work that you do aren't included in the application, they're not eligible for coverage at this time. And you can see, choose the right plan that's right for you, starting from $29 per month. Have a basic plan, general liability with $300,000 aggregate limit with $0 deductible. And this is the professional liability not included. Then they have the Pro plan, which is the most popular, and this is $100,000 of aggregate limit, $0 deductible. Professional liability, $25,000 aggregate limit, and $500 deductible. And then you have the Pro Plus, which is general liability of $2 million aggregate. I think this, I don't know if I might have said 100,000 over here, but that's 1 million as well. But this for the general liability Pro Plus is $2 million aggregate limit. And then the professional liability is 50,000 aggregate limit with a $500 deductible. Check out our blog. Da-da-da. So, I think that was a nice little simple introduction. Again, there are a number of different policies that they have. Generally speaking, most of you guys are probably, we kind of want general liability insurance. Some of you, however, may want business insurance, depending on what it is that you do. If you offer some sort of consulting services, maybe business might make more sense. Errors and omissions insurance. If there's a lot of contracts and whatnot being exchanged, that might be something to consider. If you have tools and equipment, if you're doing things on TaskRabbit, for example, that might be one to consider. So there's so many different insurances that are out there to potentially help, just protect your equipment, protect your things, your investments, protect your butt, basically. But for me, I believe the general liability insurance will be sufficient for my needs at this time. And again, as I continue to grow and kind of do a wider variety of services and whatnot, I can consider expanding to increase the number of insurances that I have helping to protect me. But in this situation, we're going to click on the, again, general liability insurance. Making mistakes. And so specifically, here we go. So worst case scenario, bring it on. Find general liability coverage for a wide range of incidents with easy online insurance from Next. So this would be helpful. Bodily injury. Someone trips over your tools and breaks their leg. General liability insurance has got you covered. It got you covered on property damage. Yikes, you drop equipment and damage a client's hardwood floor. Advertising harm. You're sued for improper image use in your advertising. Court and legal fees. You need an attorney for a lawsuit, even though you did nothing wrong. Medical payments. Someone gets injured on site and asks you to pay for medical expenses. Libel, slander, or defamation. An employee badmouths a client online and the client sues you. So even things like, the advertising and the slander and stuff, I didn't even think it would cover those. I was only really thinking about physical, damage, property damage that you're doing to someone else. Or if someone kind of gets injured on like your equipment, things like that. But these other areas are big and would be really, helpful for a lot of people who might, get in a little pickle, where they got to dig themselves out of that hole. I think this would be something that would be really, really helpful. So I think that was a good little introduction to Next Insurance, and kind of giving you an overview, showing you some of the insurances that they have. I mean, I could technically do a more in-depth introduction to each of the insurance policies, but I don't want to take too much more of your time. I do want to show you guys how to actually sign up as a handyman, get a quote and whatnot, and get the ball rolling. So we're here on the website, Next Insurance, Handyman Insurance in just minutes. You're going to choose your state. You're going to add your email address. Then you're going to do get instant quote. What's your average job size? We want to make sure you are in the right industry so that you can create the right coverage for you. We'll say less than $5,000. And it says Handyman Insurance. Customers like you usually buy these policies together. Save up to 10% when you bundle. So the general liability insurance, which it says includes contractors' professional liability, also known as errors and omissions, E&O. Okay, didn't know that was part of it. And it says from $37.50 per month. But then they said add the additional coverage, which is tools and equipment. And this, to my understanding, is if you misplace, if you lose any tools or equipment, or if something gets stolen, then it would be fully insured. I believe it's fully insured, maybe just partially, but I'm pretty sure it's fully insured, and you would, be compensated. You'd be taken care of. And as you can see there, it says save up to 10% when you bundle the two of them. But, and I did just get some new equipment, so I'm kind of like, maybe I should, but I haven't really had many issues with my tools and equipment. You usually, if you do leave something behind, you can easily kind of backtrack and figure out what job, what client, you left your tools at, their place. So I don't think I'm going to do this for the time being. If I had more expensive equipment and stuff, and I was bigger and more, hardcore, maybe I would do it. But I really just use like drills and just all smaller things, attachments and things like that. So I'm going to hold off on the additional coverage. We're just going to move forward with the general liability, where it says from $37.50 per month. So let's get a quote and see what happens. Okay, so now it's saying about you, and they want your basic information. So first name, last name, phone number, your business name will appear on policy, Adam Helper. And it says here, question mark, your business name will appear on policy. Please enter the legal name of your business. If you are an individual, then enter your own name or trading name. If you are registered as a DBA, doing business as, please type your name as a DBA business name. Your insurance documents will be printed with the business name exactly as you enter it. I mean, doing it like that because it says specifically DBA business name. This might be fine. I can't really tell which one is technically correct because it kind of says you can do both. So it might not be a big deal. But I think I'll just leave the DBA because it specifically says in that second part, if you're registered as a DBA, which I am, please type your name as a DBA business name. So I'm going to do it like that, leave it how I currently have it. You got to add your business address, your city, and your zip code. Now about your company. What best describes your business's ownership structure? Most of you watching this, many of my viewers here on YouTube, my regulars who are regular subscribers, by the way, if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of my videos, whether it's helpful videos like this, helping you with improving and strengthening and protecting yourself, you and your small business, your self-employed business, but also a ton of other content that should hopefully be of value to you guys as well. And after you subscribe, hit that like button. It does help me. It shows me you guys appreciate the time and energy I put into these videos, but also it helps with the YouTube algorithm. So other self-employed small business owners will have a better chance to come across this video and hopefully take that step to make sure they are protected. So as I was saying, what best describes your business ownership structure? Most of you guys watching this are probably going to be similar to myself, an individual sole proprietorship. However, you might be an LLC, which is a limited liability company. Maybe you have an S corp, a partnership, whatever it is, just select the appropriate one for you. But again, most of you are probably going to be an individual or sole proprietorship. What year did you start your business? It was last year. Well, technically, see, and this is where it's tricky. Because for me, it's like, well, I re-registered it. Like I changed the name and stuff. So we'll do 2020. We'll do next. And is it 2020 or should that technically be 2019? January, February, March, April. Yeah, I think that's right. All right. About your services. Your insurance will be tailored to activities you perform based on your answers below. So what portion of your revenue comes from the following? So it says, what portion of your revenue comes from the following activities? Appliance installation, service and repair, appliance installation, service and repair in households. Oh, the first one said commercial. And then it says handyman work and miscellaneous tasks, and then standalone pressure washing jobs. And this is actually something I'm probably going to be bringing on and starting to add to the services I provide, but I haven't done it yet. Appliance installation, services and repair for commercial. And like between all of these, I mean, majority of it, I want to really say handyman work and miscellaneous tasks, because I don't really do appliance installation, service and repair and household work. It's more so handyman work and miscellaneous tasks. So we're going to just say 100% here. I don't know if that's going to potentially put me at risk or if it's going to not be good. Maybe they want it to be spread out among the services here. Maybe not. I'm not really sure which is going to be better for you. But for me, in terms of my situation and the particular services I provide, this makes the most sense. So I'm going to do next with that in mind. About your business, years of experience in your trade. So years of experience in your trade. I mean, I have years and years of experience, so I'm going to say 15. Total W-2 employees, including owners, but not subcontractors. So we'll just say 1 because it's just me. Remember, if you are a self-employed small business owner, I mean, if you're a sole proprietorship, you are the business owner, but you're also the employee. So things like this, and it says specifically including owners. That's why, because it's trying to remind you guys you are an employee. So add 1 there if it's just you. What is your expected total sales in the next 12 months? And this is your best estimate, including subcontractors' costs and all of the projects for the year. So for the next year, how much do you think you're gonna, bring in, including the subcontractors' costs and all the projects for the year? In total for the year, I have a number in mind that I'm gonna say this will. So I'm gonna have to probably blur this one out for you guys because it's a little private. I believe for the next 12 months, you know what? I think I'm gonna exceed that. I'll leave it at that because I think it's gonna be higher than this year, but it's gonna be a reach because again, it's higher than this year. But I'm like, I think I can break that. I'm going to leave it to what I just put it. Expected subcontractor costs in the next 12 months. Do you expect the following requirements of this policy? So expected subcontractor costs in the next 12 months. I don't know. I'll say so the subcontractor thing might be where it's tricky because they're like, hey, you're probably getting hired for the job, but if you have subcontractors, to what extent, how involved are they, things like that. So this is where I think it's going to make things a little unique, a little tricky, but I think, we should still be good. Only time will tell. So do subcontractors only do work similar to your work and operations? I'll say yes. Do you accept the following requirements of this policy? Any subcontractors you work with must carry coverage with limits greater than or equal to your own. You must obtain and store a certificate of insurance from each of your subcontractors listing you as an additional insured on their policy. In case of a claim related to your subcontractor, you will not be covered without this documentation, and your subcontractors must have all required licenses before performing work. And I think you have to accept this to move forward. I might be mistaken, but most likely you probably can't move forward with this if you don't have this selected. So how much of your work is residential, commercial, industrial? I'd say about 80% residential, 20% commercial, and 0% industrial. Approximately how much would it cost to replace all the tools and equipment at your business? So all of the tools and equipment that I have, and by equipment and tools, I mean, to me, that would encompass, to me, when I see all of your tools and equipment, I'm thinking, well, technically, like stuff like this is part of my business, right? Now, this is where it's tricky because this stuff, I would say, probably more of my other hustle, my other business, but I do use it to, not really actually, I was going to say to create marketing content for Adam Helper, but I'm not even really doing that as much as I could. However, I do use my laptop, for example, for business. So I use it for multiple businesses. So maybe I split that the cost of the laptop 50-50. Maybe I split the cost, so other things with all of my tools and whatnot. All of my tools and equipment, I would say the total is probably between, it's going to say 3,000 to 5,000 or the 5,000 to 10,000 mark. We'll just go on the lower end. I mean, we could go that higher end, but I think the 3,000 to 5,000 is good. About your insurance. Do you ever perform work in New York State? And have you filed business insurance claims in the past 3 years? So I'll say no. And I'm just going to say no on that because I bet it's going to make things a lot more complicated and more hurdles to have to overcome if you do select yes on this New York State one. So we're going to do next about your work. The following activities will be excluded from your policy. Please confirm that you acknowledge that you will not be covered on any of the following. And now this is where it's like, you start reading stuff and you're like, man, but I do want to be covered under that. So injury to yourself, your employees, subcontractors, and volunteers. So if I get hurt on the job, that's workers' compensation. I'm not signing up for that. Damage or injury arising from the use of automobiles. So if my vehicle happens to be, not me, but if my vehicle happens to be what causes harm to someone else, that would fall under commercial insurance, commercial auto. I'm not getting that. Tools and equipment, excess and umbrella liability, abatement and remediation of asbestos, mold, repair and remediation of fire, manufacturing and sales to general public of items, new homes, work on new mobile home parks, apartment conversions to construction, work on railroads, work that you perform under a wrap-up program or any operation you perform at a location at which you are covered under, as a general contractor, developer, construction manager or project manager, ground up new construction, dock construction, exterior, foundation work, hurricane, standalone roofing, structural demolition, welding, work involving sprayed and rolled, work on wooden playground equipment, work that requires. So I get it. So, I mean, the things for me that would make me kind of like, do I want to consider getting workers' compensation as well or commercial auto as well? Because again, those are just additional ways to protect yourself. If you get hurt and you can't work, workers' compensation will cover you. If you are in your car or your work van and there's an accident, commercial auto will help cover you. So, I'm passing these things up for the time being. And I'm going to say I understand that I will not get those. Now it says, has your commercial insurance coverage been canceled, revoked, or non-renewed in the last 3 years? Other than cancellation, I've never had commercial insurance, so I'm going to say no. Has your business or any of its officers, owners, or partners been convicted of a felony in the past 5 years, declared bankruptcy in the past 5 years, had business-related lawsuits, meditations, or operations filed against them, had loss or litigation involving poor workmanship, became aware of any loss, accidents, or circumstances? We'll say no. And when would you like the coverage to start? And I'll just say, I probably should say, tomorrow, because I technically do have a gig tomorrow that, I know with my luck, I think it's literally just a couch move. But you never know, that's the crazy thing about it. But since I don't think I'll be getting booked for Thursday, the 31st. And I have that one gig tomorrow, which is just a couch move, moving it down. It's a small, especially since I'm talking about it, small chance something could happen there, but I'm just going to push this out to the 1st. And that way we'll just have a nice clean slate where we know this will start on the 1st of every year moving forward, assuming things go well with them this first time around. So we'll do next. It's working its magic. And I guess while it's working its magic, there we go. All right, so here's your handy person insurance quote. DBA Adam Helper has my home address because I'm self-employed and you usually have your home address as your business address. And then it says included coverage, general liability, which includes error and omissions for those of you who are self-employed. It says this is $80 a month. Due now, $158 for 2 months. Purchase insurance. Cancel at any time. So I'm going to do the monthly because I'm not like losing out on saving money or anything if I do the yearly plan. So do now $158 for 2 months is what they're going to charge me now if I do this purchase, which I am going to. Fraud warning: any person who knowingly and with intent to defraud an insurance company, blah, blah, blah. Don't play games, my friends. Keep it 100, be real, be honest, and things should work out for you. So pay $158 now for first and last month. Will automatically charge your card $79 for the next 10 months. I got my card, and so I added my credit card information. Payment successful. We're almost done. Payment successful. Boom. You're all set. Coverage starts on January 1st, 2021. And hooray, howdy, welcome to your online account. What would you like to do first? And we got my certificate of insurance, DBA Adam Helper, baby. My name right there, Adam Spencer. And it says starts on January 1st. Liability. This is $2 million coverage. Certificate created, generic proof of insurance, payments. And I don't have these other ones yet, as I mentioned, but we are in the right direction. When we click on the actual, there we go. So it says 2 million aggregate per year, 50K errors and omissions aggregate per year, description of operations, proof of insurance, certificate holder, policy holder, bam. The advantage of life certificates. Okay, so we have within this call the coverage limits, and you can see $0 deductible, rented premises 100K, medical expenses 15K per incident, 1 million, personal injury 1 million. So this, my friends, what's covered, what's not covered. Medical payments. Your client steps on a stray nail at the job site and asks you to cover the cost of their urgent care visit. Property damage. While carrying materials through a client's foyer, you accidentally break a large custom window. And this to me is the main reason I want it. So if there's some sort of accident when I'm on on a customer's property and I damage something, I drop something, I break something, the property damage to me is the most important thing and the biggest reason why I am getting general liability insurance. But then, hey, there are these other additional benefits that you're covered under as well. You post a picture of a completed project at your client's home. The client sues you for invasion of privacy, something that, I'm sure a lot of you guys don't think about. I absolutely take pictures and do videos here and there with me completing a job. And, I usually remember and think to ask the customer for, their approval to do that. I don't put their home address right inside of the photo or anything of the sort, but you still want to make sure you get their, they're okay, get their word. But in case something does come back and nick you in the butt with that, maybe like I never said, you can, this insurance is going to cover you. So not too shabby, my friends, not too shabby. And you got a few things here that are not covered: new homes and subdivisions of more than 10, apartment conversions, ground up new construction as a manager, and roof work. None of which I do. So that's great. The basic handyman stuff I do in a house is real simple. It'll help me with fixing my cabinet, changing the light bulb, the doorknob. Can you move this couch from here to there? Little things like that. That again, gonna make sure I'm covered and protected and I have this insurance, but not gonna move forward with getting these other add-ons at this time. So there you guys have it. I think if you do, yeah, here we go. So if you do need your actual proof of insurance, you would click on your thing, and here it is. You got your actual certificate here, and you probably would want to just download or do email, in which then you can get a copy of this in your email and you'll have it there on hand. Anytime you go out to do a job and you go into a new building. I'm here in Boston. They got tons of new buildings down in the Seaport area, and a lot of them require you to have insurance to enter their building and do work. If a client hires you, you still need to have insurance when you get in that building. A lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them. And so having this on hand on your phone, so maybe you just download a copy on your phone directly or email it to yourself so you have it there in your email, but you want it to be on hand so that you can easily be like, here's my insurance policy, I'm good to go, thank you. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Went on a little longer than I was hoping, but I just think it's important to make sure people know that, if you are self-employed, if you are a sole proprietorship, an independent contractor, a freelancer, you can also be protected and covered, similar to a business, to an LLC or, a corporation. Now, yes, there are some things that are still different. Some aspects to having a business, a legit LLC, will still have you be covered, a little better or differently than just getting general liability insurance would. There's some aspects to having your money and whatnot that's kind of separated, that's protected. Whereas doing the DBA as a sole proprietor and still getting general liability insurance does help to protect you and your money, but it's one in one. It's not two different things like having an LLC and then your own personal bank and savings account and money and whatnot. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to wrap it up there. Like I said, if you guys thought this video was helpful, definitely like this. It helps me, it helps the YouTube algorithm. It shows me that you guys appreciate the time and energy I put into these type of videos. And will obviously encourage me to continue to produce these other type of business, small business, self-employed business videos to help you guys with, moving forward and just staying protected and, again, growing your business, your self-employed. If you haven't already, also subscribe, hit that notification bell, because then you can stay up to date on all of my videos I release, whether I'm talking about other aspects to starting and growing your business, maybe personal financial management, things around the stimulus package, and so much more. So I'm going to wrap it up there. If any of you guys are using another insurance provider with your self-employed small business, leave a comment down below letting me know who that provider is, because people might not want to move forward with Next. Or maybe someone tried Next and it wasn't good, they didn't like it. I would love to know what other options are out there. This pretty much was the one that kept popping up when I was doing research and, kind of asking around. So I was like, hey, I'm going to move forward with it because this seems to be the one, but maybe there's some other hidden gems out there that I don't know about that might be more appealing. If that is the case, if you are familiar with any of them, like I said, leave a comment down below letting me know who that provider is. Much appreciation for your time watching this video. And if you do leave that comment letting me know other providers, appreciate it. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Got to keep it moving. It's like 9:30 right now. Maybe try to do another video tonight. Probably not, but either way, you guys know I'm going to stay busy. I'm going to keep grinding over here.